Hi, I'm Jake.
I'm Dylan.
And I'm Brian.
And we are Ute Pass, and this is our second Ute Pass podcast. Now, again, we've been having some very crappy luck. Brian, our lead singer there on the top left hand of your screen, he got COVID. Brian, how is it over there with the COVIDs and the Ronas?
Well, it's above average over here, Jacob.
Fuck off.
No, it's boring. The worst of it was Tuesday because I had a horrible headache. I slept all day, wasn't hungry, kind of nauseous, but not really. And there was a little bit of a breathing issue, but I slept all day, so it's kind of like I didn't notice a difference. But yeah. Besides that, back to you.
But did anybody catch me do that?
Yeah.
I hate myself.
Back to you.
Oh gosh, back to you in the news station. Anyway, so yeah, needless to say, we're not working on the music video at this exact moment. It sucks because as soon as I got off quarantine, we had to quarantine again. Like literally the day we set up a time to actually hang out and work on some stuff a little bit.
Brian's like, I don't feel so hot.
He's like, I'm not feeling good. I'm like, what should we do? I'm like, you need to go get tested. He's like, okay. Goes and gets tested. He's like, guys, I got the Rona.
The Rona.
So here we are, unfortunately. But whatever. Oh, I just knocked crap off my desk. Luckily, I didn't unplug my headphones because that's always awkward. So we're hoping, though, I'm still hoping that we'll have it finished by February. I think we can do that. Yeah. I think that's achievable. We don't have much left to do as far as the band goes, and we've just tomorrow Dylan's actually coming over, and we're going to be working on the non-band shots since we don't need Brian there for that. So
can I hang out? No.
Gosh, you're one of those people, huh? I don't need to wear masks. I don't need to follow my stay-at-home order.
No, Brian just has really bad FOMO.
Yeah, that's so true.
I don't know what is FOMO.
That's a topic of discussion.
What is FOMO?
Missing out?
Fear of missing out.
I used to be the Blitz.
Fear, yeah, it's the same thing.
I used to be the Blitz, and these, well, not you, Brian. You weren't a part of that group, but Dylan and Aaron would always point that out and make me feel like complete crap all the time.
Give Jacob FOMO.
Yeah. It's a real thing.
It's terrible. Now that I know what it is absolutely terrible. I get that all the time.
I get FOMO at social groups I'm not even involved with. You know? Like, oh, they're going to bingo tonight. I don't even like bingo. I want to go.
Also, I'm going to apologize. A new track list just popped up on the screen. I was pulling some stuff into Pro Tools, and it just decided it was going to pop up on my screen. So there you guys go. You can see in the recording there. But anyway, So we're going to move on to our first topic of discussion. So we were kind of just joking around before we started recording and everything. And I brought up Hey There, Delilah, which is Brian's least favorite song in the world, apparently. So we're going to go around talking about our least favorite songs. So go ahead, Brian.
Everything you've ever listened to.
What makes it so bad?
Okay, I have two reasons, and only one I want to disclose publicly because I don't want to make someone feel bad. It's not.
Oh, it's an ex. It's an ex, isn't it?
No, it's actually a friend who might watch this. I'm already going too into detail.
This friend's gonna message us, be like, "We hate your band now."
No, I just think they really like this song.
How dare you?
And I hate it. And this was like a big song for them. So I don't know. I don't want to piss them off. See, I've probably already given up too much info. So,
yeah, at this point, you might as well just say.
If you don't, they know at this point. But anyways, but I hate the song because the story behind it is so dumb. I guess this guy was in New York City, literally saw.
Wow, never would have guessed that from the song.
You're stupid. Anyways, and he just saw some girl walking across the street or something, and he went to his apartment and just wrote a 3-minute song about her. That is kind of creepy when you think about it. Like, oh, I saw this girl, and this girl she'll never get her money for being a main character in that song, and she has no idea.
Money? You know how much? You're telling me all of Taylor Swift's exes get money for her her freaking songs about her? I don't think
No,
so.
they don't.
I don't
But
think that's
just-
how
no.
songs work, Brian.
I'm just going too far with this. But either way, I hate that song, man. And then the chord. Oh, dude, I hate that song so much.
Okay.
So you don't like the production of it?
I hate everything about it.
You don't like the
Passionately.
theme, the message,
Nope.
because you think it's creepy?
That, and I just
So
don't
then
like
what's
the
your
song.
if you
I
think
hate
it's
the
creepy, then
composition. I hate
what's
the
your
composition.
opinion? What's your opinion on Baby It's Cold Outside?
Oh,
Honestly, dude, I don't, language that was 70 years old isn't super relevant to me. So when I read it, half the stuff he's saying is like, I don't know. I just read the lyrics like a week ago, and I was like, this is
I've
stupid.
heard
This is
several
so
arguments for it, and one of them stood out to me as being a superior argument, and it was more of a pretend kind of flirtatious, like, oh, I really should go. So it's like she's trying to be good, but at the same time not. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure that's like.
I think there's something.
But
to
a
be
lot of
supposed to be
people,
interpreted.
including myself at one point, thought that was a very rapey song.
Yeah, I was super out of the social loop when that was a whole thing. So that's been like.
Yeah,
You just said that hey there Delilah was creepy for you, and that just came to my head.
yeah.
So.
Okay,
Yeah,
Dylan.
yeah, that's fair.
Since you're talking, what is your least favorite song? Also, I'm stalling for time because I'm trying to think of mine.
Yeah,
Since you're talking.
What is my least favorite song?
I like how we're just
I mean,
killing people right now just for no reason.
like, there are songs that I definitely like off the top of my head, right? Without really thinking too much. Has to be I don't know what it is specifically.
Something
Stall
by
more.
Nickelback.
No,
Stall
but
more.
it has to be one of the songs from any of the plethora of those damn Barbie movies that my sister would always have
Oof.
on the TV when
Oh,
she
yeah.
was little.
I
That's
just thought
fair.
of. Thank you. You actually just made me think of my least favorite song in the world.
So they're all the same, and they just like. I want to be a Disney song, but I'm not a Disney song, so I'm not gonna try.
As hard as Disney would.
But I bet you those Barbie songs are rough. I've never heard of
I've only heard that. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
No, not that song. I fucking love that song.
Yeah, that's not a bad song. I won't even lie. It's bad.
I mean,
but
like
it's
from
good.
the actual
terrible,
like, creepy,
Yeah,
creepy
that's a guilty pleasure song.
CGI animated films that were a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just
Those should
think
still be a
you
thing.
because of that whole Barbie thing. I don't know why, but it made me think of Crazy Frog, which is my least favorite song on this planet. Bang bang, dude. Oh,
They
it's
used to play that at
it's
skate something way
everything
too
that was.
much.
Oh, it was everything that was bad with like early electronic music wrapped into one song.
No doubt, dude.
It was
Why- that's not even-
everything that was bad about early like electronic music.
That song's from was released in the 2000s, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I don't know. I mean,
See,
we
I
can
would even
Google it, but
say-
I don't want to Google it.
No, let's not. Let's not listen to it. But I'm
the
almost
fact that,
curious
like,
now. Like,
almost
what vein of electric music did that come from? Like, who thought
No,
oh,
the
I
thing
love
is
this.
that was the evolution of electronic music. I mean,
Crazy Frog was its own thing.
like, yeah, it
'Cause they
kind of,
sampled so many things too, right?
Yeah.
And then just like
Yeah.
fucked with it.
And I think the song was kind of a joke too. When it if I remember right, it wasn't even like a super serious thing, and then it got big.
can somebody explain to me why, like, at least from what I've heard, all early electronic music had to be a minimum of 150 BPM and had to have like arpeggiating loops and like nothing.
I'm
Like
sure
it was
it had
all
to
the same
do-
thing, just in a different key.
I'm
I don't
sure
know.
it had to do with something with like danceability and like
And just said that.
everything's more on
keeping a vibe
Yeah.
in the club, you know, keeping
And so-
people dancing.
Yeah,
and
but
then
you don't.
thusly
But
making them
clearly, from
thirsty,
new
and then
electronic
making them go
music,
to the bar.
you don't need that.
But But I don't know. I think it's what you said, Jake. I think it's everything's 4 on the floor. So if it's an 88 or 80, just boons, boons, boons. It's not as
That's
fun.
way too
you know?
slow.
Yeah. So
no,
that's
it
not
is.
as fun.
It is as fun because like look at modern music. Like literally, it's that tempo, but it's like boons, boons, boom, 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 boons, boons,
Sure.
boom, and
sure.
then just little deviations from the 4 on the floor.
I think honestly the presence of like cut and slice samples is like the biggest difference now between new electronic music and old electronic music.
True.
Because they were doing it before. They were, but now like these electronic artists, they'll just take like something that's like an eighth of a beat and then just like put it on like a chromatic scale and then make a song out of it, where they don't even have technology for that probably back in the day.
Well, yeah,
I'm
because
guessing,
you know what Pro Tools used to be called before, like it was widely accepted.
Too expensive.
Slow tools.
Because
like
fun.
it would take it was in that Sound City documentary because they were talking about digitizing studios and stuff like that, and Pro Tools came onto the scene, and it would take like 3 hours to render a track. Like, could you imagine?
Good computers, I bet.
Yeah, and that was like at the time a great computer. Like, holy hell, I'm very glad we have the computers we have today. I mean, that opens up a whole new can. I mean, that's how we're able to do all of our stuff because we literally don't go to a studio for any of our stuff. Well, I mean, I guess you could classify my place as a studio, kind of. And
all of us have studios.
True.
I mean, we all have studios. But anyways, no. But seriously, like, think not about that. But imagine if you were writing up a quote for someone to record, and you had options. You could be like, we can either do 10 hours of tape cutting at XYZ, or we can do 10 hours of computer processing at XYZ, but both have different rates. So you'd have to write that up too. I mean, the business end of it would just be, it would suck because you'd have to include processing time into your business because you're just going to have to sit there for 3 hours and can't do anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was old school recording. I mean, 90% of it was done. And that's the other thing is like 90% of it was done before it even went into the tape because you only had one real chance to do it unless you wanted to keep using tape and more tape. And you didn't really, you couldn't cut and splice really like you do today. Like there's bands that would talk about doing like 100 takes of a song all the way through until they got the one they liked. Like, could you imagine? I would go nuts. I mean, I still go nuts.
That would be interesting. I think everybody would sound substantially different.
I mean,
well,
like, they still did it though, like miraculously. I guess. Almost.
I think that lends itself to being a better musician though, because like these guys literally have played this so much they could probably do it in their sleep. Or like literally us, we can go in, play for 2 or 3 times on a track, and be like, "Oh, that sounded good enough," and then work it and edit it in post,
and comp shit in,
and it's good to go. I don't like doing that, but you can do it.
I had to read this book. It's like not even a book. It's like a pamphlet of pages on this classical jazz theory re-recording they did. And long story short, one of the key differences is that basically the more times somebody plays something, it leads to more improvisation and more creativity and things of that nature. And so I think that's why music was so different back then and why these people would just have these 3-4 minute solos, because they're like, you know what? If I'm going to play this 250 times a night, I might as well make this solo really, really fun to play. You know what I'm saying? And like give yourself a lot of leeway.
Well, if you think about it too, it lends itself to the fact that if you're playing something over and over and over again, you're so comfortable with that scale that pretty much the odds of you hitting a wrong note are incredibly low.
Yeah. Or you're purposefully like, I don't know what
I'm gonna make this like a minor 7th when it was really just a fucking minor. Like just add some flair. I don't know.
that's definitely a thing.
So that being said, so we haven't had, at least Dylan and I, Dylan has probably more experience than me as far as different programs. I'm pretty much solely Pro Tools. Dylan, I know you have messed around in Ableton a little bit. So have I, but not recording.
I started in Fruity Loops.
I started in Fruity Loops and very glad I'm away from that.
I started in Audacity and use
Wow.
Studio
Well, okay,
One.
all right.
Studio One.
If we're counting Audacity, every one of us has started in Audacity
We can count Audacity.
because
Everybody starts on
oh,
Audacity.
it's so bad though. I don't know how it's so bad. Like even with a
Dude.
good setup, it is terrible.
It blows my mind whenever someone says like, I recorded, a full studio recording in Audacity, and I'm like, how? Like,
I mean,
how?
technically you can.
Yeah, but it's just so hard to work.
There's
with.
nothing stopping you.
The equalizer, the built-in equalizer is like, it's unbelievably bad.
If somebody says they've recorded a studio album in Audacity, I don't believe them.
I don't either. That's like when someone says that Kanye said I recorded my whole album on my iPhone. Like, come on, did you really?
I mean, but Kanye can get away with that because he's Kanye.
I don't think he did it though, is what I'm saying.
Even if he didn't, but he can say he did, and people will be like, okay.
So where this was going though was, what do you guys think is the worst product on the market as far as that goes right now?
Audacity.
Well, that's a free one. I don't think we can include that. What's the worst one that they're charging money for?
Oh, probably someone that most people don't even know of, or has some weird name that we've never.
All right, what about out of the
Like,
commercial
one of those,
ones? We're kind of biased towards Pro Tools, but actually a lot
those,
of people have moved away from Pro Tools, from what I
One
understand.
of those browser-based ones that you pay.
Oh,
for.
there's a browser-based one that you
yeah.
pay
I
for?
can't hold-
I know what you're talking about.
Oh gosh, I forgot what it's called.
Oh, the worst one undoubtedly is Magic's. It's this stupid program. I forget who produces it, but it's a company called Magic, and they sell a beat maker and a studio, whatever the case may be. It's bad. It's really bad. It's like almost a toy bad. It's that bad.
Well, while Dylan's looking that up, I'm going to move on a little bit. So the other day, I had to go get another SM7B for a different podcast that I'm doing with my cousin. And I walked in there, and I'm starting to notice a trend of every time I walk in there, there's always somebody buying, looking for a good $100 microphone.
Yeah, dude.
Which is a good thing. There are some definite good ones, but I always ask him, hey, all right, what, because, no offense to some of the Guitar Center guys, they're not very knowledgeable. But the nice thing is the guy who's actually working there now, at least at ours, has actually been doing it for a while and can actually talk intelligently about microphones, which was crazy for me because I've never really had that at Guitar Center. But he was looking for a $100 condenser microphone for vocals. And the first one that popped into my mind was one that Dylan has, and that's the MXL 67. Yep, it's the green one. Hold it up, see if you can find it.
Are those $100?
Yeah, they're $100. You can catch them on sale for $80. But this microphone in a side-by-side shootout on multiple singers stood up to or beat microphones that are $400 or $500, right?
And if you use our code, you pass set.
No, I'm just trying to make some good recommendations for people who might be like us.
No, this thing's great. I've had it for years.
It's honestly awesome, and it beat out a lot of different microphones.
And
it stood up. I mean, it was a side-by-side between that and my WA-251, which is a $700 microphone. And we ended up choosing the 251 for just a couple better higher-end things because, as I mentioned to the guy yesterday, the problem with cheaper Chinese mics is they tend to amplify frequencies above 10K in not so great ways.
Yeah.
But for that price, that microphone is a powerhouse. So 100%.
Especially if you're doing singing and vocals. If you're looking for something for some just basic content creation, right? Not necessarily, some colored vocals, because that mic definitely has its own color to it.
Well, yeah,
literally,
it's green.
Yeah,
it's green,
green and gold. I like the color of that mic.
Honestly, I love the look of it.
On point. Yeah.
It's got a nice aesthetic. Anyway,
both are good.
Ooh.
I'd recommend the AT 2020. It's just simple. It
Is
does
that a
what
Sterling?
microphone. No, it's Audio Technica.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one of those. They're nice.
It's
My only complaint with them.
simple, do what they do, you know.
My only complaint with the AT2020, I think they're a little bit on the high frequency. They're a little bit overpowered, but in general,
Like I
good
said,
mic.
Chinese mics on 10K up tend to have
Well,
a
I think-
bad amplification, or
Well, I
they
think the
boost
AT
frequencies that just should not have been boosted.
Yeah, well, I think the AT2020, it's only like I got it for like $75 or something, so it's a pretty
Yeah, you
cheap
can
mic.
usually get them for under 100.
Yeah,
But I would
they're
still
really cheap.
say for vocals and even like starting podcasters, I would still recommend the 67. Now, moving on to other low, cheap mics that are decent for what they do or great for what they do. Obviously, you can't go wrong with the SM57. You just can't.
True.
It's $100 mic.
Yeah.
It is the mic. I mean,
Usually cheaper. Like
yeah,
100
guys
are
guys are still using that on freaking guitar cabs and stuff like that. However, that's not a vocal mic. That is like, well, it can be a vocal mic, but
It's
It can
weird
be
when
whatever
people
the hell
use it
you
for a
want it to
vocal
be. It
mic.
can be a hammer.
it
Yeah.
can. We've used it as
It
such.
can be a
actually.
doorstop.
It'll take a beating. It'll take a licking and keep on ticking. Anyway, but SM7B. I think we should talk about mics in this category that we don't recommend.
Mm.
Ooh.
For me, it's pretty much anything by Blue. Until
those look
don't
nice.
touch
Until
blues. Until you're talking 250, that's even iffy. Basically,
Plus.
anything above 300, then okay, you can go with a blue. Anything below
think they
that,
have-
don't touch them. Do not touch them. Dylan?
I mean, yeah. I want to. I'd say I mostly agree with that, but like, I mean, Blue is one of those companies that's always trying to push the envelope a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, to see what they can get away with. And they've been coming out with like stuff recently that are they're on the more budget end that are honestly pretty appealing. And I just, I can't say anything about them until I get my hands on one. But
All
like,
right.
yeah, usually like once you get into their higher range of stuff, like, like a friggin' a bottle or a baby bottle, or a blueberry. Oh my god, if I could have
Those names are great.
I don't know how much, like, I know the blue bottle itself is like a freaking $6,000 microphone, isn't it? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
What's the baby bottle go for?
Is it called the baby bottle or is it called the bottle rocket? Where's the baby bottle? Oh, it's 400.
Oh, that's not
Not
as
bad.
bad. But and then there was another.
I really
as
like
far
the
as
58 beta
Those
better
are
than
good.
the original 58 beta.
those are good for
You know,
live.
Yeah,
great
yeah,
for
live
live.
vocals. Yeah,
I will
yeah,
not touch
live
those in the
vocals.
studio. I
Yeah,
have a fit-
these are this is a
Microphone, though.
live vocal thing, not a
It's
Yeah,
a reliable microphone though.
it
Yeah.
is. And
And
the
I
thing
like-
is we say this, but you can do anything in a pinch. It may not be the best sound, but you can use any microphone can be used for any purpose. So
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the people on TikTok using the fucking Apple earbud inline microphone. Doing
I don't know
like
how they're
covers and
doing
shit.
that. I don't know how they're making that sound so good. I
know,
really
right?
don't. But all right, is there any companies though that? And sorry, Brian, this is more on our side because we're a little more on the technical end of this. So, but is there
Jacob's
any?
like, Brian knows nothing. He's ignorant.
No, I'm not saying knows nothing, but it's just I know it's harder for you to talk about because you just haven't been doing it as long, man. I know. Anyway, is there any microphone companies that you just say completely avoid?
I hate to say completely, because
I mean,
Just-
yeah, there's always diamonds in the rough, but like, is there like?
yeah. I just honestly, personally, I don't like throwing shade like that. But in my experience, way to sound whatever. I've had the worst experience with was Samson.
I've never heard of them, so.
I've had like with other people being other places and stuff, Samson mics around me have tended to have bad connections or just not a good sound. Something's wrong. I don't know. It's like I said, I don't like to badmouth, but just
We'll do it. That's the whole point of this segment. Stop
I know,
being so
right?
impartial.
Whatever. More Samson mics that I've encountered have had more problems for me than any other.
Okay. I honestly, most of at least all the brands I've had, I haven't had a single problem with.
Yeah, me too.
I've also been told though by a lot of friends, or people that I've talked to about it, stay away from some of the lower end AKGs. They can have some problems, not as far as connectivity, just but sound.
AKG is so
hit or miss.
It's weird, AKG.
Yeah.
Like a lot of their stuff I really like, but there's a couple things of theirs that I will not ever like
touch.
Yeah.
So, with that being said though, my favorite brands, actually probably my favorite brand overall as far as just what they do is Aston. Aston makes an incredible microphone for the price. They're trying to beat out pretty much everything. They're hitting with like freaking AKG C414s. That's how good some of their I have the Aston Spirit I have two of them and they kick butt. My second favorite brand is Warm Audio.
Ryan likes the Astons.
Yep.
Singing into them. You like singing into them.
They're a great looking microphone. I would pull one up, but I have them in my little mic closet, I guess you could say. Then Warm Audio, really, really like them. I own a lot of their stuff. If you walked into my studio, you'd be like, oh my God, you're a Warm Audio fanboy. I mean, just sitting here, I have 5 Warm Audio things right next to me. But, and then Shure, obviously a brand you can't really mess with. And yeah. What about you, Dylan? Oh, Sterling's good too. Even though I don't own any of their stuff. I want to own some of their stuff. Sterling, send me stuff.
What was the question?
Like brands that you recommend, just overall.
Overall, man. Yeah, sure. Obviously, I mean, everyone usually ends up having at least one item from Shure.
Yep. I mean, yeah.
I'd say one of my favorite brands has to be probably like Boss. Like
I was talking for like stuff. Microphones and stuff, but okay.
Oh, just microphones?
Yeah. I mean,
I thought we meant
if that was the case, I would have gone down a freaking rabbit hole. I would have gone down a rabbit hole.
Okay, just microphones then.
Or recording equipment. Neumann.
If I could have a Neumann, I would have a Neumann.
They're expensive.
If we're just talking strictly favorites from when I was in school and using all these amazing microphones, Neumann, Royer, yeah.
Yeah, those are some heavy hitters right there though. Like a Neumann. Like even like the Neumann U87 Junior or whatever is like $2,000.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's really dumb. Alrighty. Well, I think we should move on. Dylan, you got anything you want us to talk about?
Well, you told me to look up. Remember, I was looking at people's opinions of the worst DAWs.
Oh yeah. What you got for us?
There's some conflicting opinions. A lot of people don't like Pro Tools. First of all.
Well, yeah. I understand its workflow can be a little shitty, especially if you're not just recording straight into it. Like that's a big problem.
If we're a lot of people talk about Audition, how Adobe Audition.
I forgot about Audition.
I believe
it's
that.
not meant to be a DAW. Like they want it to be a DAW.
They try to sell it as a DAW. It is a vocal.
tool. It's an audio tool.
The best thing Audition is used for is literally recording like vocals.
It's not a good creative tool.
Yeah, I know because I can't believe I didn't even think of Audition. I used Audition when I was in school. The only thing we ever used it for though was for like radio, like talk show recording, right?
Yeah.
Anything other than that, it is terrible at.
Yeah, it's not good for creativity. But it is. Audition is, from what I've been told, popular amongst forensics for its built-in stuff for audio analyzation. So I mean that's cool.
I didn't know they even had that.
No one knows what you're talking about.
Like,
like
cool.
actual forensics, like actual like audio forensics.
I have an idea. Here,
You know what I mean?
It sounds like
Let's
they're saying this because it's cheap and because the government is like, yes, what we use is best for something.
I don't know, it's just something I remember hearing. Is that
Dylan, what'd you get for Christmas?
I got a new pedal.
What kind of pedal is it?
I got the Source Audio Aftershock.
Nice. Jacob, what'd you get for Christmas?
A wooden puzzle, like cube puzzle thing, because I like doing stuff like that. I have weird vision. Yeah, I figured it out within 30 minutes, and then the rest of my family tried and they couldn't. So I'm proud of that.
Nice.
So far.
Nice. Nice.
How about you,
Nice.
Brian? What you get?
I got my bills paid. It was great.
Oh, that's
it was
good.
really great.
Yeah, that's the best Christmas
Adult
present.
Christmas.
Yeah.
But hey, guys,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
also New Year's, so happy New Year's to everybody.
Yeah,
out
happy
there.
2021.
We love you
Woo!
guys. We
26.
we promise we are still working on stuff.
Happy
Wait,
birthday, Brian.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, is your birthday the 1st?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Happy birthday. Mine's the
Thank you.
11th, so I'm exactly 10 days younger than Brian. Screw you, Brian. Anyway,
Be older.
we are going to really try. We're going to be determining, though, however, whether or not we're going to release Church first or do the music video for Fix. Either way, one of the two is probably coming in February. I'm not going to give an exact date because I don't want to be held to that. But one of the two should be coming out in February. And as always, follow us on Instagram, Ute Pass Band on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all the above. We love you guys. I think we're going to wrap up the podcast here and now because we all have other things we have to do today. It's a really busy day for me. How about you guys?
Nah. Been playing The Witcher.
I'm in practice.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, we love you guys, and we'll see you again next time for podcast number 3.
Yeah.
Bye.
B.